Tottenham Hotspur are still the only Premier League team to not have won a Premier League game in 2026. And after this 2-1 loss against Fulham, it is looking very, very concerning. And really, the only thing having really saved us is the fact that West Ham, Leeds United, Nottingham Forest, and Crystal Palace have all lost as well. And now let's look at a little bit as to what happened in the game. So it was very, very poor. This game was very, very poor. In the first half, obviously, Fulham did score almost immediately in about 5 minutes. Obviously, there is a lot of controversy around that goal and also to do with what Kolo Muani did to Gabriel last weekend. It was practically the exact same, yet that was given as a foul, and this one here wasn't given as a foul. And so there is lots of frustration around that. But anyway, the goal did stand, and we had another 85 minutes to try and turn around the game. Then, unfortunately, Iwobi had a beautiful strike to make the game 2-0, just bouncing in off that left post. A very, very nice strike. And also, a few important things to note that in the first half, these are first half stats right here, we had 0 shots on target. And really, I mean, yes, Igor Tudor is new, but he's had 2 games. He's had a couple weeks at Spurs. We should be creating chances. And a 0.5 XG is as well really, really not good. Especially when we do need to be picking up points. It is very, very poor. And in that first half, I mean, there is a lot which we can mention. Obviously, I'm going to talk about the positions in which players were playing a bit later on in the video, but also Xavi Simons was non-existent in that first half, unfortunately. One of my favourite players for Spurs, but unfortunately, in that first half, he was non-existent. Also, the midfield was very anonymous. I mean, we had Conor Gallagher, who unfortunately I think wasn't very good today at all, and also Palhinha as well. It was non-existent. It's as if we didn't have a midfield. It was anonymous, and there was no chances being created. The defense also for the first goal was pretty terrible, and unfortunately, we went in at the break 2-0 down, and that is what happened. It was very, very poor. And yeah, we went down 2-0 at the break, and then obviously in the second half, we did make a couple of substitutes, a few substitutes, about halfway into the second half. Matisse Tell, I think, came on, was very, very good. I felt like, obviously, he did help create that goal, which Richarlison did head in. It was a pretty nice goal, obviously, have to be positive about that. Matisse Tell with a nice little dribble, then gave it to Archie Gray, who crossed in a very beautiful cross perfectly onto Richarlison's head, who nodded it home. So that was 2-1, 66 minutes. We definitely had a chance at that point in the game, but unfortunately, we weren't able to capitalise on the corners that we had after that as well. The second half was better. I feel like, obviously, we did win that second half 1-0, but football is made of 2 halves. And if you're not good in the first half, then second half isn't really going to be looking very good. So those are my thoughts as to the whole game, first half and second half. Obviously, we have the stats here. Only 1 shot on target still in that second half, but 4 total shots, a bit better, but really nothing very good either. And there was also this very bizarre free kick, which I'm sure you guys probably also noticed that Vicario took. He just booted it off the end of the pitch, which really wasn't ideal. At that point, we were losing 2-0, but lots of things which we should be pretty worried about. And now let's have a little bit of a look at the lineup. Basically, the lineup, there are a few things that I want to mention. First of all, last week you guys probably remember that Archie Gray was playing in the right back position, obviously when Porro was injured. Now Porro came in, but now all of a sudden Archie Gray's gone to the left back position, and some of you guys may remember me last week saying that, well, I personally, and a lot of Spurs fans who I know, and also ones that I don't know, I see online, they want Archie Gray in these central positions, especially when these players here really, I mean, did you guys really notice this midfield today? I mean, I sure didn't. That's my view, but I really did not notice a lot of these players today. And yeah, Archie Gray playing in the left back position all of a sudden, I think he should be playing in the centre. He's a lot better in the centre. Dragusin, obviously for that first goal, there was that very controversial moment as to when he got pushed. I do think that was a foul. Obviously, there does need to be consistency. However, I think the defending for that first goal was also very poor. You might also remember that Gallagher also tried to head the ball away from the box, but he headed it wrong and he gave it straight to Harry Wilson, who just hit it home. A decent strike, obviously, from about 3 or 4 metres out, but then again, still a nice strike. But yeah, that was pretty poor as well. And to be honest, I wasn't really seeing much fight from these players today. I mean, I'm not sure about you guys, but we are definitely in a relegation battle right now. Thank God that the other teams around us also lost, because today was poor. I mean, one goal. Yeah, one goal, but I think we only had one shot on target all game. If we go here, yeah, we had one shot on target all game. That is quite frankly quite embarrassing. 0.88 xG. I mean, fine, but still really, really, really poor. I mean, back to the lineup. I mean, there are also other things to mention, such as we did play a two up front, which was different from last week. Did I think it went well? Well, I don't really think we created too many chances, obviously, with these two up front. Colin did concede quite a lot of fouls. Solanke did have this nice cross into the box where Archie Gray, unfortunately, didn't quite get on the end of it because of a Fulham header, which then went out for a corner. But, I mean, yeah, two up top. We set up pretty aggressively with the two up top, but were we able to create chances? Not really. And that's reflected by our total amount of shots, our shots on target, the XG that we had, and to be honest, it was very, very poor. We've spoken about the refereeing decisions. I haven't spoken much about Fulham. I mean, credit to them, they played really well, so well done to Fulham, but there are things which need to be asked about this midfield. Obviously, Archie Gray, I do think, should be playing in the centre. Two up front, fair enough that we tried it, but unfortunately, that it just didn't work. Also, I have seen some Spurs fans online calling for perhaps Igor Tudor to be sacked. Let me know your thoughts down below, what you think about that. I'm not fully sure as to what I think at the moment, but I will probably form some sort of an opinion very, very soon. I'm also going to the Palace game on Thursday, so that will be a good indicator as well. Some are calling for Harry Redknapp to come back, so that'll be interesting to see. And now I think it's worth looking at the Premier League table, of course, because obviously this is looking very, very, very scary with the whole way this is going. Obviously, none of us have really moved anywhere. I mean, we lost, Leeds lost, Palace lost, Forest lost, West Ham lost, and I mean, yeah, so loads of us lost, which is interesting. I mean, thankfully, they lost, but then again, we've just blundered an opportunity to go 7 points clear of the relegation zone. And the truth is now, when we walk out on that pitch on Thursday against Crystal Palace and West Ham win, we could be there's a possibility that we are walking out on that pitch at home only 1 point above the relegation zone. Yes, we have a one game in hand, but there is scoreboard pressure here. I mean, West Ham, I can't actually remember off the top of my head who they are playing next. Okay, well, they've got the exact same fixtures we just had. So they have Fulham next. Not an easy game, but then again, it's a London derby. Anything can happen. Then they got Brentford in the FA Cup. And thankfully, they do have some difficult fixtures in the way of Manchester City and Aston Villa. But then again, I still cannot believe that I'm worrying about West Ham fixtures, about teams such as, I mean, Nottingham Forest were good a couple seasons ago. But the point is, we're worrying about fixtures of teams who are in 14th, 15th, 17th, 18th. And I can't believe that, honestly, our club has actually come to this at this point in time. It is very, very worrying. At least West Ham don't have the easiest fixtures of all time. Obviously, Tottenham, we do have Crystal Palace next. Then we have the likes of, obviously, Atletico Madrid in the Champions League. Hopefully, we can just do as well as we possibly can there, but we will see what happens there. Then Liverpool away, which I'm really not too confident about at all. And I don't think you guys probably are either, but let me know your thoughts down below. And then Forest, which is practically a 6-pointer. This is going to be absolutely huge for us. We need to make sure that we win this game. It's at home. We need to take advantage of that. But then again, our home form really has been very poor this season. But Igor Tudor, 2 wins, 2 games, 2 losses. It has been very, very poor so far. Unfortunately, we have not been playing well. Obviously, my attitude, I think, towards this game would have been different had we actually played well. I mean, losing obviously isn't fine, but losing whilst improving and playing well and playing better, then then there's a bit of sympathy, a bit of understanding. But this was poor, unfortunately. But things can change. Hopefully things can change. We need to see what can happen against this Crystal Palace side, who are also currently not doing too well. They've just come off the back of a 2-1 defeat at Old Trafford literally just 20 minutes ago. So hopefully we can take advantage of that Palace game, and hopefully we can really go up this league, because this is looking very scary. The only thing that's really saved us is the fact that all these other teams have also lost. And yeah, let me know your thoughts about Igor Tudor below. That was a very, very poor match. I've let you guys know my thoughts on the lineups, on the team, on our fixtures, on the stats and all that. Let me know any things you'd like to see in the future videos. And that's all for today. Come on, you Spurs.